xSOLOQUEue is the amount of maps that you play na makakalaro naman sila sa compound, nakakalaro naman sila dito sa Black Widow. But those are also maps na Execration can definitely play most of the time. Granted, may mga times na itong Execration, they kind of have bit of difficulty support, but if Charleston's hitting and he's not missing dito sa top 8, obviously adjustments will be made. But that's the thing talaga na kind of sets apart itong Execration compared sa mga ibang mga teams where they actually adjust really well to what the opponent does to them. But itong xSOLOQUEue, they're still a pretty formidable team. Obviously, Luke doing really well all throughout yung season natin. Kim, having his first go at it dito sa entry role coming in from being a sniper. Medyo roller coaster ang kanyang sakay dito sa group stage. He had some bad games. He had some really freaking good games. But then, ayun nga, rest of the squad also, just as consistent dito sa xSOLOQUEue. But you're up against Execration, man. This is the best team to come out dito sa group stage. So, dapat talaga lahat talaga mag-pop off dito.
Yep, dapat maging stable in order for them to sustain din yung kayang ibigay dito na Execration, knowing Execration napaka laking factor din to and challenge to beat this team dito sa ating semifinals. And konting recap lang din for the match number 1, which is 3-1 nga na naging final score natin. Kirby Gaming with this win, sila ang unang finalist natin na tutungtong, and unfortunately, para dito sa side ng matches B, nalaban pa rin naman sila para sa Battle for Third. Pero Execration and xSOLOQUEue ngayon, magkakaalaman kung sino dito sa dalawang teams na to ang susunod na yayapak or pupunta dun sa pinaka-final spot natin.
Yeah, obviously, this is not the first time na napunta nga itong sa playoffs, itong xSOLOQUEue. Last season didn't really bode too well with yung old roster nila with itong si SL2 instead of si Kim. And ayun nga, they did get into second all the way dito sa last season natin, going 6-1 as well. Obviously, this season is a lot worse para sa kanilang group stage, but potential is there para sa kanila dito. But we're gonna introduce the lineups, of course, and we are gonna take a look at Execration. There we go. Addis Avon. These were Charleston, Seiya, still the same 5. But I think the biggest concern ko para dito sa Execration is Charleston gonna be shooting straight this time? It's mga games natin, he has had some really, really bad games where, the Execration really needed the sniper, but then he wasn't there to kind of cover the issue para sa team niya. But then, this is where the other players actually rise to the occasion, no? I mean, you have Aries, you have Dracifer, you have Seiya, you have itong si Avon to kind of cover the holes para sa kanya dito. But if Charleston is definitely online and hitting dito sa series natin, then that's gonna be a good news kasi you're going up against Minate, a man who also doesn't really start off that well sa mga mapa natin. But it just takes him like one highlight play basically to get it locked in dito sa laruan. But we do have the XQ lineup pare. And it's still the exact same, of course. Itong si Echo's Kim, RTA, Luke, and itong si Vin 8. So, lots of stuff that you have to think about kung kayo xSOLOQUEue. I mean, Kim has to have good entries. Itong si Echo's RTA has to, kind of play with Kim or even entry from time to time. Luke has to be just as clutch as ever. And Minate has to hit his shots on the openers battle.
Yep, and all in all, ang dami rin talagang challenge and assignments na kailangan i-provide dito ng xSOLOQUEue in the different maps na pwedeng paglaruan ngayon nila. Knowing the best of 5 to, this might be a good challenge para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. Kung nakapag-prepared nga ba sila dun sa pwedeng ilabas din ng mga pocket fix na maps, especially Eagle Eye 2.0, na pwedeng ma-open ngayon at this point para sa kanilang squad. And syempre yung Mexico na hindi rin malabong maging opportunity para sa dalawang teams natin. So, yes, may mga common maps sila. Doon yung Ankara, doon yung compound para dito sa dalawang teams natin. But unfortunately, kailangan din isipin ngayon ng xSOLOQUEue if ever nga na ma-open yung na-mention ko na dalawang maps mamaya, magiging prepared nga ba sila? And looking at the map dito ngayon, titignan natin ngayon kung paano nga malalaman or paano tatakbo itong laban natin.
Yep. So it's Eagle Eye Mexico once again, fully banned off. XQ on Ankara, starting off on BL. XA with Black Widow, expected that. Compound, which I didn't expect galing sa XQ, but I feel like after yung last match nila with itong Kirby Gaming, they got a lot more confident sa mapa ng Black Widow. Fourth is gonna be picked up at sub-base sa magiging decider natin. I'm more surprised na sub-base didn't get picked up earlier by Execration considering That is one of their better maps sa map pool. But they just left it for game 5 just in case na umabot nga tayo sa 5 dito. But yeah, I mean, first 3 maps are really good for both teams. Execration gonna start things off on GR dito sa ating Ankara. So xSOLOQUEue, their offense needs to work early and well dito sa game natin. Or else, yeah, Execration having a really good GR side, they can definitely get the ball rolling sa mapa na to if ever a streak is needed. But yeah, xSOLOQUEue, I mean, why not, man? Have them have an exchange siguro Rifter for Rifter. I would say Execration is better. xSOLOQUEue, they got some really good shooters on their team as well, and we're gonna start things off dito sa Ankara. Out of the picture sa start ng round. Team will get itong si Dracifer, but can they get HM control once again? Pero yung C4 nakababa sa gitna ng kawalan, and not much XQ can do.
Napakahirap nung sa ganitong sitwasyon. Nakita agad nila information. Ganun pa rin naman yung pag-push on the side of Aven dun sa mismong kanal or kumbaga yung hukay dun sa may gitna. And Kim, last player remaining para dito sa side ng XQ. Kaya niya mga bato up against the 4 members pa na buhay na buhay para sa Execration. Pero Tunnels B, napakadelikado. Si Kim! First round nila ito. For this ang para map.
Good old mid push para sa Execration. This will probably surprise itong xSOLOQUEue, who was probably more used to yung slower way of things para sa ating squad. Harry with a nade hands, kills around. Aven, Nade's gonna go through. Aven's gonna avoid it, pero meron Nade goes probably down. So it's a 2v2. Not too bad, considering that the way the round started wasn't really for them, pero Aven is down to their HP. So needs to be the one probably entering first dito sa side natin.
Kailangan maging reminders din para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. They need to win this clutch. Alam naman natin, Luke and Kim, panood na natin sila sa stage kung paano sila kumuha ng mga ganitong scenario na clutch. Knowing Execration, low HP, pero pinag-tulungan without this is now a 2v1 scenario. Unfortunately, Execration, nakuha ngayon ng xSOLOQUEue panalo.
There we go, XQ. Roll standard command hold down dito sa B-side. So, don't do much about that. xSOLOQUEue now trying to go into the A-side. Very fast pace. Charleston nandito na rin sa A. Pero gusto nila pumasok ng very fast. Never decide to go on the board. Pero tama. That shot na siya. Makakuha ng dalawa. Kim does get one in return. So it's a 3v3. Meron na para sa exit. Pero Aris will not see C4. He needs to get out immediately before the shot. So that's a 3-man leader. Pero nandito na
naman yung 1-for-1 exchange. Napakagandang ito para kay Main 18. Now, 1 scenario. Even and Kim, parehas na malakas. Natin, but unfortunately, hindi niya agad napansin. Nandun sa may taas, ito sa Aven. Go, mabilis sa dalawang teams natin. And that's a good scenario para sa side ng Execration and xSOLOQUEue. Gusto nila na ganito agad yung pacing ng ating laban.
Yeah, it's good na nakuha na nga ng xSOLOQUEue. C4 plan was a bit early, pero pero and he was already half HP nung nakita niya si Aris dito. So he's gonna go down immediately. So 4v5 para sa XQ.
Yan lang din talaga yung naging problema. Early engagement para sa side ng Execration. Si Aris agad nakakuha. Early frag kill para dito sa kanilang team. And especially xSOLOQUEue ngayon. Unfortunately, nandun na naman yung trade na magaganap para dito sa side ng Execration. Walang masyadong nangyayari para sa side ng Execration. Johnson, nahuli pa itong si Kim. Ngayon, shot sa kanya AWM pero nakabawi ngayon ang side na there's a good information na nakuha agad nila pero Dracifer and The duo combination na nakikita natin, ikot na yung C4 at hindi malapitan dito ni Luke. Kailangan maging dahan-dahan para side ng xSOLOQUEue, lalong-lalo na itong si Luke na dalawa pa ang kanyang binabantayan. Even and Dracifer tries to swing left and right. Sa shot, mas naging connecta lang ang kanilang kill. And now Execration with a 3-1 score.
3-1. Execration, full control na nga dito sa laruan natin. Chelsea is now starting to hit the shots. And Luke is gonna actually pick up the sniper. So magda-double sniper itong XQ to try to find these opening picks. But the thing is with Execration, they're keeping it within their hands. They're keeping their hands within the ride. So hindi sila nagpapakita muna ng information masyado dito sa mapa. And yeah, they're just playing very passively. For the past few rounds, medyo mabilis yung pacing ng Execration, but then they just pump the brakes.
Ooh. Saya. Okay. Pabilis mo lang to ng reaction time, pero mukhang nakikita information which is mas pwede pa mag-benefit para sa side ng Execration. And although mid-control na naman ang gagawin dito ng xSOLOQUEue, and this might be a big problem para sa side ng Execration dahil kailangan ngayon nila yung maganda. Pero unfortunately, nandun na naman yung slight damage para sa team para naman yung pagpasok the goal para dito kay RT the rest of the squad ready to plant itong C4.
Yep, Luke coming in from the second digit. RTA is gonna get Sisea. Execration, it's gonna be another hard this is gonna go down. RTA at si Kim. It's just gonna be Charleston. Aris na lang natitira dito sa bato. Not even 2 and 3 XQ. It seems like yung is more effective rather than their A attack. But ayun nga, nakita nila na going on dito sa A side, so they assume na it was a trap. So they just rather go getting home para sa kanila dito. Kim, I don't know what happened to Kim. He had an MP5. Got annihilated by Charleston, pero RTA at Dictus with a trade. Execration may be playing a bit too aggressively dito. Might be the next one down, but he does get itong si Binate. So it's a 3v3 even here.
Talagang napaka-intense yung laban in a way na parehas itong dalawang teams natin na nagkakasagutan na hindi sila pumapayag na ilang minuto pa ang lilipas bago magkaroon ng trade. But unfortunately, once again, RTA having mas nakakuha agad sila ng pag-e-entry dito with the help of this player. And xSOLOQUEue has control again. C4 pero Execration with a 3v3 scenario, patas kung patas. Pero may utilities pa nga ba na natitira?
Fire in the hole!
Gets Icarus. And pati na rin si Luke na damay dito with the wall bang on the M4. And for para sa kanila dito. Hard fought map so far between both sides despite what the scores are. So, okay pa naman dito yung XQ. They still probably win. I don't know what happened to Kim sa last round, but he still has an MP5. Luke will get itong si Charleston. What is Kim cooking though? He has one of the worst SMGs. The worst SMG full choice in this game. Even Kim is the one with the MP5. How does that happen? Seiya and Gracie. The back of the Eagle. Like RTA or kay Luke. C4 is all in big door. Pero 1 HP na lang dito si Dracifer. And there's also an additional flank happening.
Seiya?
Galing kay Seiya from CFS. But Dracifer is gonna go down. Alam ba nila si Seiya dito?
Kung maganda tayo information, knowing that they have control dito sa mismong second mid and the steps, nakita agad nila ito si Kim. Instincts lang ang pinagana dito ni Kim. And now, xSOLOQUEue having this nakuha nga nila 4-3. Isa lang ang kalamangan.
Medyo naiwan pa dun si Apex on that C4. Here, obviously, having to be aware that they did say getting a bit too disciplined for their liking. So, XQ. Is gonna go down as well. And xSOLOQUEue, another good A-take para sa kanila dito. But they have to be careful from behind because Aven and Tracer is here.
Oh, mainit. Execration ngayon. Can pull out this play. Galing doon sa may likuran. Getting the 2 kills. And I want a popcorn para dito kay Luke. Now 1v1. Ecos and Dracifer. Pero andun sa mismong metal backs. Napakadelikado ngayon. Kailangan dito ni Dracifer. Para dito kay Ecos. The proper time para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. Dikit ang laban natin for this first half. Pero hindi pa ang makakuha ng last round.
Yeah. And this is going to be interesting. Both teams play at the same level dito sa game natin. And RTA will RTA pero Steven. Nakuha naman ang dalawa and Dracifer getting si Kim and it's a 2v4. Aven on half HP but it doesn't matter. RTA down to 1. It's gonna take a heroic effort para makabalik sila dito sa round natin. This is gonna get beat by every single Luke to get pero it is, you know, it is Arch. You can separate yung mga fights dito down to the 1v1s. But not gonna go down. That shot on the M4 and 5-4 Execration with the lead dito sa first half. And can they continue said lead dito sa Execration? As long as you can avoid itong si Minate from his sniping openers, then they're gonna be fine.
Yep. Kapaganda rin talaga na naging dito ng Execration. But unfortunately, masyado atang ulit mainit ang pagpasok dito ng Execration knowing that this is the first round.
Wow.
Sa depensa na ginagawa ng XQ. Baliktad ang scenario. Nagkakaroon ng dalawang teams natin and now look for lang, nandun yung trade-off na gagawin natin. Last pero low na HP itong tatlong members na Execration, Ares, Dracifer, and Aven onto the mid. Titignan natin, nandun na yung time para sa kanya. Pero ang hindi agad nakita dito ni RTA and Execration wins this first round sa ating second half.
That would have been a great start para sa XQ. They already gotten the players a bypass. They already gotten the second player guarding itong bypass. But then a very fast move all the way. And I don't think naka-aggressive dun si Luke. So I don't think he was... Hey, Luke. Gonna get itong si Aven. Aries will get... It's a 3v4 para sa Execration. And RTA starting to get some shots galing sa vents. And Dracifer left alive in a 1v4. Shots! Has to respect itong si Drake. He hit some very nice shots on that AP-47 pero ipipick na lang pala dito. And there we go. XU. 65. 1 point difference between them and Execration. Pero Exe, pwede pa sila magkamali na isa pang beses dito if ever.
Yep. Pero kailangan nilang ingatan itong bypass na to. Nag-adjust ng condition lang din talaga sila. Well, na pulbos. Ayun yung pinaka-main na sagot para dito sa tayo ng xSOLOQUEue na kung paano sila makabawi. Bantayan natin maigil. Dahil yung depensa ngayon ay solid na solid para dito sa side ng XU. So, adjustment-wise para sa side ng Execration, I think kailangan muna nila mag-invest dito sa A.
For any player that wants to peek itong LA, Aven's gonna get blown up. And Aries down to 1 HP. Kim with the beat. 4 does bait out the shots. Will get itong si Charleston. Kim is going absolutely rabid from LA. At yung dalawang natirang players ng Execration na iwan na nga dito sa big door. Pero meron nakabantay. Seems like they're gonna let them pass through. But with XQ, they're positioning in and around yung mapa natin. They can definitely get a retake going immediately. Pwede ba nilang kunin itong hotel control? Uy, pero Ikas will get itong si Seiya. So it's only Dracifer left. Granted, Dracifer is really good, but you're up against 4 players, even 5 ng XQ dito. It's gonna take a hell of a clutch for him to get back into the street. And there we go, XQ. Dito sa kanilang DR side, what is Execration gonna do to the
I think kailangan lang din nila dito alamin muna. Try to play perfect. Hintayin mo muna graduation na mag-overextend. If ever man, ulitin mo yun na xSOLOQUEue yung run nila dito sa may LA. Pero ang problema kasi si Min 8, siya na ngayon ang nagiging magandang start para dito sa side ng XQ na defense. Nakakuha siya ng early engagement para dito sa side ng Execration. And Execration, knowing na mas lamang ang side ng xSOLOQUEue sa numbers, mas nakakuha ngayon sila ng advantage. And all throughout this game, ganun lang din yung naging scenario para dito sa ating second half. And considering Execration, isang round pa lang so far ang napapanalo nila. And with the run na nakita natin sa side ng xSOLOQUEue, mas malinis ngayon ang pagiging GR side nila.
Yeah. Is just gonna pick up the C4. Obviously, it hasn't been a good game para dito kay Aries. Only having 4 so far dito sa series natin. But Kim trying to contain himself from peeking itong tunnels B. They're gonna slowly re-clear itong mid natin. But if they catch the timing, or they get a spray, they have to back off dito sa tunnels. Not commit on the angle anymore. Fully knowing dalawa na yung mga players. He still wants to keep going. He still wants and prodding. Kim will get the shipper, but will he get the second one? No, he won't. Aries will get the trade. Charles will kita dito si Luke. So it's a 3v3. The slow round kind of benefits itong Execration, and Charleston gets itong si Bin8. No reason for you to be floor A in this map at this point. Pero Akos still holding.
Oh, no.
Get cleared instead. Akos knows. He gets itong si Seiya. Low pa naman dito si Aries. Charleston's on the other side of the map. But now he reconvenes with his teammate. Pero Ikos,
second mid.
as long as ma-realize nila clear, etong mid, they're just gonna run straight into tunnels B. Yep. Ito na nga. That's the game plan. Aries down to 1 HP. He cannot fight. He has to plant. Down to RBA discovering what the timing on the tunnels B, and Aries will get taken down. So 2 points ang lead ng xSOLOQUEue. They only need 2.
Ang depensa, knowing kahit sabihin na natin masyadong aggressive ito si Kim, dun sa pinaka-main point sa lahat para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue na napapansin ko, mas nagiging bait yung possible option sila dito kay Kim, knowing na mas nagtitay attention sa play nila and all throughout the game. Naman dito, hinapan ang side ng Execration. Doon sa mga gusto nila laro. And now look.
Oh my god, dude!
xSOLOQUEue etong game natin. Last round to get this set.
Sa tapusin Kenny ang ating laruan dito sa Ankara before Execration does feel like they can come back dito sa game natin. And look at Luke. Peeking all over this tornado. So aggressive. Does miss the shot. Pero hindi niya na-itigil. The one peeking the next even. 2 players on the bottom side of Wallbang through the wood. Kim will get Seiya. M4 is very effective. Versus 4. HPC Kim. So much mid pressure from the side of xSOLOQUEue and Execration. Only having 3 members left. And kailangan na nila panoorin itong market tour just in case na may flank na mangyayari dito.
Dracifer. Oh no. Yung timing dun. Nakikita mo pa rin. Tayo na nga. Nakuha pa rin naman ito ni Charleston, and all throughout this game, mas nagiging malinis lang to para sa dalawang teams natin, and chill lang daw muna para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue dahil dalawa yung possible. Mabilis lang din. Once. And there we go. xSOLOQUEue cleaning the set. And naging drop yung start nila pero again, playoffs kasi is talagang dun mo napaka-iba yung shape nila and no napakaganda yung posible nakita natin yung catwalk, napakabilis agad na kill from CFPH. The last match na naman yung kanilang pagpasok ni Aris nandun sa Melikuran pero handa nga ba dito sa mismong site isip na nandun sa mid-range Aris with a one tap at yun na nga xSOLOQUEue mabilis agad nakakuha itong round 1.
Yeah, xSOLOQUEue looking really good. So start ng game natin. And they got two immediately. So Execration. Getting that shot. Pero almost getting continuation. Seiya will get one. But Aries does get traded in return. Seiya just half HP. Doesn't want to hold it forward. Yes, he does, but he does want to just play a bit more far back than usual. Pare.
Maganda agad yung kanilang naging din naman natin yung pagpasok Kim and RTA on to the LA. Napakabilis agad. Go xSOLOQUEue consistent ulit sa kanilang pagpasok and Execration yun kasi not like start
MP5 once again para dito kay Kim. Not somehow the MP5 works para kay Kim and Kenny Parker straight into window B. Si Aries, and he does get into the Aries. How does that happen? The first MP5 appearance in any CFS tournament, and it works. Seiya will get it. Don't see the loss an M4 Minate, and Kim will get that last kill. And xSOLOQUEue with a 3-0.
Execution, ano nga ba ang nangyari? Patuloy pa rin ang pagkarangkada. Doon na yung engagement from the side. Problema ngayon, mabilis lang din na makukuha dito ng mga trades para dito back-to-back kills. Pero nandun pa rin talaga. Execration right now. Charleston nag-iingay pero si Seiya na naman yung play na pwede gawin dito. Unfortunately, etong si Luke, siya na lang matitira para sa side ng XQ. This might be the first round na pwede makuha agad ng Execration ngayon. And nakakabol na itong Execration pero panigurado na ba hahabol sila hanggat makakaya nila kasi xSOLOQUEue.
There we go. Fire through the smoke. It surges in time. And xSOLOQUEue gonna do about this? Tracer nandito sa Waters can be helped by the backup player na si Aries very quickly if ever they do decide to go for Waters control. Pero spread out na muna yung XQ in case anyone goes too far. Down to 1 HP. Even through the windows, but he goes to the other window instead. 3 versus 4 is the starting round. That is the XQ.
Oh no. Aris try to delay lang dun sa play. Connect na yung shots niya and now na-convert into kill. Problema ngayon.
Fire in the hole!
Shots coming dito kay Tracer and now Execration with this score. Or yung run mismo ng xSOLOQUEue ang nabali na performance yun.
Charleston was doing there. A bit too late, considering the time. Even getting to Luke. Even getting both players na nasa loob ng A side. So si Aris na lang. Running their A is the last one defending. Does get itong si Min 8 around information. Christopher trying to get the poke out dito kay Luke. But the 1v2 could be definitely in the picture. Luke down to 1 HP. Does get itong si Jason. Aris is down to 1 HP. And Luke does it. Nako po, kaya hindi nagka-clutch na rin siya dito sa mapa. And it's a 4-2 solo queue. Went out that round and they still get it. And Nate will get it.
Slow and steady. Dalawang teams natin. Players natin. Ang depensa dito sa may talagang negate ngayon ng Execration yung access point ng ating koponan para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue, and all throughout the game. Even mukhang ipit na nga dun sa may bandang gitna, and xSOLOQUEue makabawi dito knowing 3 of their members, lalong-lalo na ito si Luke, low on HP na.
Oh, does notice si Charleston na nandun sa gilid, but Akos is down to 1 HP. Luke is also very, very low. Pero titignan natin. Luke can be effective with the sniper. Does need to get shown. Sees the arm. Hit. Dito ng XQ. They do have the 3v3 underway. One mistake and this entire offense falls apart para sa kanila dito. But Minate now deciding to go in towards mid, having to be careful about Seiya's presence. Seiya gonna decide to peek around the corner. Minate very patient dito sa sidewalk. Hindi pa siya nagpapakita, pero Seiya, I feel like he really wants to peek his position. Considering narinig yata siya ni Minate dito. Minate gonna send a lower player in. Turn around in time. Seiya gets drive-by. Then Luke, even getting itong si Aven. Racifer na lang natitira. The A side is wide open. And Akos is gonna be staying dito sa window B the entire time. However, with that jump, Dracifer can actually deny. Gonna go through. Dracifer gets the better of Minate. Pero Luke doesn't have to be. Gonna go through. All she has to do is delay. Where is Akos? Punishing the jump peak. 25 seconds. And Akos is nowhere to be found. Yung plant para dito sa short. Does he hear the defuse? No, Dracifer is gonna wait. Wait! Then he had one bullet! No one told him! No one told him that he had one bullet sa M4. As Dracifer clutches out the 1v3.
Nabihan natin ng one bullet lang. Hindi lang magiging sapat na bala para doon kay Dracifer, but unfortunately hindi rin talaga nag-connect yung shot na yon. And that pero unfortunately nandun na naman yung pag-pull out ng LA to go in. Speed of Charleston will go down 2 of the members, or make it 3 of the members ngayon sa side ng Execration. Para dito kay ng full squad
xSOLOQUEue once again, MP5 pulled out by Kid. If they lose the long fight, ano naman XQ, they're just not gonna give up on unfortunately, that means XQ has a side wide even finally back on the M4. Pero meron may peek dito sa LA. One tap galing kay RDA to get itong si Aries. Pero Dracifer is gonna take him down. 2 versus 3. And B-side could be the target dito, pero si Dracifer nagde-defend, so you're gonna have to kill him instantly or else risk dying. Dracifer, di yata nakita si Luke. Still gets the back. He's still having the advantage, pero yun lang, does go down. They could see his head. Minate gets the cross. Para sa akin, Minate should switch back to the AW. Want to keep the rifles underway. Smoke's gonna go through, which is gonna be very bad.
Fire in the hole!
Luke is gonna go through. Hit by it. Minate na lang natitira, and he has to be Kabao. Kailangan niya maglaro ng Kabao dito, Kabao. First Charleston, he goes down, and Minate getting the 1v2 at the end of that one. Medyo magulo yung round, but they win it anyways. xSOLOQUEue with a 3-point lead dito sa back.
Hindi ko rin talaga malaman kung bakit nga ganun yung mga nangyari para din sa ating no xSOLOQUEue. Scenario na napakaplikado para sa kanila, but unfortunately yun yung mga play ngayon para dito sa side ng Execration. Doon na naman yung pag-rush in nila. Pulado ngayon yung mga players para dito sa side ng Execration. Aven, Racifer, mukhang agresibo ngayon kanilang depensa, pero unfortunately nakita nila yung C4. Naging information lang din yon para dito sa kanilang squad, but Racifer up against the side ng PA ngayon na wala agad sa kanilang pangalan. Now, etong si Aven, napakalayo ngayon, knowing hawak na ngayon ng xSOLOQUEue yung bomba.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting hit with the exact same first round as itong Execration kanina on Ankara, and I love this position. Galing sa XQ. Just put 2 players dito to spawn right at the back of it. So if you clear one, might have to assume that the other one is there as well. Pero pag nandito siya sa talunan, kitang-kita yung kanyang ulo.
Yep.
Does he get the first jump? Yes, he does. But does he get the second one? He's gonna have his back turned onto ng xSOLOQUEue, and they just get him down 7-3. xSOLOQUEue with an absolute surprise in the first round against itong Exe.
Nabulaga agad ng dalawa, pero nakita naman natin na yung mga shots coming dito kay Luke. Napakabusay ng players ngayon so far para dito sa side ng kanilang talaga on point lahat ng team. Nanggugulo lang.
napaka KU PA and an L at the end of it, pare. And Kim just jumping around.
Double kill.
Formation. And Nate will get it on si Aven. I can't believe they're doing situation like this. Any other teams above. And Tracer, he's gonna go down as well to Kim. Kim is feeling it. And Charleston na lang natitira on that sniper. It's like whack-a-mole. And the rest of the squad. And Kim gets the last kill. 8-3. xSOLOQUEue feels so comfortable dito sa Black Widow.
Kakaiba. Attention na yung binibigay nila. Knowing etong si Kim, parang eto yung naging situation na napupull out lahat nila yung attention para sa kanilang squad. Ganun rin yung nangyari dun sa mismong Ankara nila. Nag-break out lang sila all throughout this game, and katulad na naman dyan, nakuha agad yung pinaka-crucial player din para dito sa side ng Execration, and as their sniper, mukhang mawawalan agad sila ng opensa para makapasok sa mga entry points ng kanilang magiging target. But unfortunately, para dito kay Ecos and napakahirap ngayon. RTA, mukhang mahirap ngayon para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue to adjust dito sa mismong A.
Yeah, but if they do decide to go into the B side, that's an up-down setup na kailangan nilang lagpasan dito. So it has to be a good flash. Obviously, si Luco is checking it on LA. No one's to be found. So Smoke's gonna go through. Ecos carry. The rest of the situation trying to get still going. Wala na pala dun sa taas instead. Nate will not get itong si Seiya. And Luke, the only one left alive. What was a good round para sa XQ. They already got the first pick going. The double short play was not good para sa kanila dito. And I mean, Luke, pretty good at clutching, pero in B site, it is pretty much impossible to clutch unless he gets a kill with it. Onting back is out of here. Easy shadow through the smoke. 8-4. There we go, Exit. Lumalaban pa.
Kailangan pa rin kumapit. Itong side ng Execration, knowing last two rounds to secure this one para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. Napakalapit na rin talagang matapos ever man nga itong Execration, magkaroon sila ng mga errors sa mga ng xSOLOQUEue, and knowing there's blood ayan low setup para dito kay Kim, and Kim talagang kakaiba ang kilos. Pero si Ecos hindi tumama yung connect yung shot para dito kay Charleston, and Charleston remaining para dito sa squad ng Execration.
Yep. And granted, Charleston, he has had some really good goes sa mga clutches niya. Problem is, all three members ng xSOLOQUEUE is gonna be coming from the long side. So instead, tatalo na lang siya dito sa window A, checking stage for a bit. But if he does come back to the A side, that's gonna be bad news para sa kanya dito. Nasa na iba ka ibang members ng XQ. They're still probably spotted him sa stage, so Minnie's gonna go down. But what is the decision here for Execration? B-side taken lang ba? Yeah, I mean, B-side is definitely your best bet. Yeah, pero Charleston, he's gonna play the clock out, man. Gonna mess with the heads dito ng last two players.
2v1. Time is taking para dito sa side ng Execration. Kailangan pa rin talaga nilang mag-move forward to plant the C4. Pero I guess if ever nga ma-plant nila ito, kailangan pa rin maging ready dito ni Charleston. And most likely kasi mapapansin din natin na talagang minamagnet nila yung Execration na pumunta kung nasa netong dalawang players natin. Equus and Kim. Ayun na.
Oh, they didn't shoot. Sinundan na lang.
Mukhang ipapaplant muna nila.
He's dead, bro.
To deny it. And now, Equus and Kim. And there we go. Just na-retake lang din. Coming para dito sa side ng Execration. Para sa kanila.
Yep. XQ looking like they're just gonna close out itong map number 2 natin. Just like how I said it, man. XQ has a really good Black Widow. Obviously, they're out to the public side, similar sa nakikita natin to MJB. And standard kind of play that XQ wants to go for it. He gets paid. Charleston with the lead, pero meron pa kasi na natin sa long. RTA. Maybe take it to the does get itong si Aris. And full long but he's occupied na rin. Charleston mamamatay. C4 is down. Aven na lang sa terrace. And he is just absolutely everyone at the base na mismo tatapos. Execration 1. Sa map na yun was 10 and 6. Para sa kanila dito. Especially King. Pop-off game. Dito sa map na ito. Point. So let's see if he can replicate the same.
Mukhang nasa kaya guys para dito sa first round. Execration naman sila doon sa mga players natin para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEUE. Now last player remaining. Para dito kay team. Nadali na naman dito ni Kim and xSOLOQUEue nakaiba agad yung kanilang start.
Yep. And another MP5 para dito kay Kim. RTA Luke will also go and get itong si Jacifer. Kim will get it. Even 2v2, but even only goes down to half HP. Si Luke na lang natitira. She is very familiar with these 1v2 situations. So, I mean, if it's 1v2, it might as well be her. Charleston. Sniper pass is gonna go through. Pareho silang bulang at that time. Does she get the cross? Yes, she does. Charleston still stuck in CB. Uy, pero hindi niya napansin. Nandito pa si Luke. Charleston failing to cap off that 1v1 and si Luke with another 1v2 clutch on the
wow. Talagang nakikita mo na game mode. Ito ang side ng xSOLOQUEUE dito sa playoff. Napakadami unfortunately with a winning condition na nakikita natin Execration with Isaiah. Napakadelikado with this MP5 sa kamay ni Kim. And ayun lang din nakikita natin sa playstyle dito ni Kim having the initiation ng kanilang team. The entry fragger, talagang mas mabilis lang din siya makapag-initiate. Again, Charleston, siya pa yung madadaan. Talagang nakikita mo, etong si Kim naglalakbay lang kung nasan etong mga huling membro ang matitira.
Even
madadali pa.
Pero hindi mapapansin si Tiraton 3-0 xSOLOQUEue 3 rounds from their BF side.
the first time na nakita ko na dalhin yung laban. Lalong-lalo. And this
Oh
might
my
be
God.
the secret weapon. Ang dami mag-kill. Right na xSOLOQUEue. Na sila lagi yung nakakuha ng kill. And now, Dracifer. Kailangan. Looking at it, mukhang hindi talaga pumapabor. Pero ang maganda dito, yung C4, nasa lugar ngayon kung nasa netong si Dracifer, which is the A site. Pero ang problema, mukhang tama yung timing para sa kanila.
Yun lang. With the shotgun, every single gun has been pulled down dito sa laruan natin. XSOLOQUEue obviously having that mid control over and over again.
Shotgun.
Oh my god! He got
Ayun
spotted. He gets Nate as well. So the antics ng xSOLOQUEue could definitely be stopped. Ay, nag-reload harap na naman. Oh, no. Can she get the kill though? Yes, he can. Kaya pa naman.
Okay. Lamang sa numbers, pero itong si Ares, low HP na rin kasi. Pero kailangan nilang maging maganda yung establishment doon sa mismong A defense. Pero looking at it, etong si Luke tries to roam around the map na hindi natin mamalayan. If ever nga na makakuha siya ng slight information kung open nga ba itong B, pwede sila makapag-plant at pwedeng mahirapan gayon yung Execration knowing that they have the advantage. Pero si Charleston lang din yung nagbabantay, which is hindi kumnekta yung first shot niya. Ang side ng and now a switch. May kita agad natin na napaka-flexible dito ni Luke. Sniper. Napakagandang panalo pa rin na natawid ng xSOLOQUEue.
And 5-0 xSOLOQUEue. Oh my word. This could just be it. In all honesty, I mean, you guys xSOLOQUEue is doing dito sa mapa. Oh my god, I just didn't expect it to be this one-sided. At least the compound, right? I mean, Execration, they also have a good compound, but today.
Mahirap talaga yung ganitong sitwasyon knowing Execration with this kind of scenario na napapansin ngayon natin para sa XQ. Parang sabihin na natin, wala pang isang oras ito naging laban natin o yung mismong series na to. Ganon lang din kapassionate itong XQ na gusto nila agad ma-dominate itong semifinals and mabigyan ng magandang performance yung kanilang kalaban. And knowing Execration with this 2-1-2 setup, maganda at positibo na pwede sila makakuha dito ng slight information sa mid pero kailangan nandun ang information na makakuha dito raid na magaganap pero mapapansin mo pa rin trying to go in dun sa mismong problema. Ang daming mga attention na kailangan tignan ngayon na Execution. Oh. RTA. Lucifer? Oh no. No shots! Oh! Mukhang nag-audition na naman. Charleston na lang. Last player remaining. Pero bullet. First round to secure para dito sa side ng Execration.
And that was the move to make it. Now, meron siyang M4 already. Another gun out of there. Missing after shot kay Charleston. What a way to get back into this game. Execration still alive dito sa laruan natin. But, you know, but knowing xSOLOQUEue, they're gonna switch it. Not see them just pushing exit this entire time. Kasi that kind of tunes yung kanilang last na compound run nila. But it could work right now, pero si Seiya nakabantay lang naman sa entrance. But Tracifer is also in a really favorable position dito sa A. So I'm not sure if a 4-man take dito sa A side is the way to go.
Pero ito na nga. Kailangan lang tingnan mo. For one, mas lamang doon ang side ng Execration with the numbers nila yung nababaliktad na. At napakaganda. Sa MP5. Ni kuya mo lang. At ngayon, etong si Aven. Out of nowhere. Again, nanakot. Charleston. HP. Considering etong si Min 8. Babalik. 1-4. xSOLOQUEue. Napakalaking kalamangan at this point.
Yun yan, no? Maybe some stuff. Ito yung mga ibang marin natin. Getting buff and spray para sa OG and sa SP. Pero yun nga, Luke. Nakikita si Even dito. Charles is going to have to worry about these B-side. Pass na. CB. Under control. Pero nakuha pa rin dito si RTA and si Luke. 2 versus 4. And Seiya down to 1 HP. They have to finish him off. Or else he is gonna go way crazier dito sa mapa natin. Pero Aries also has CH just in case if anyone from CB does want to go out. Pero kung makot dito si Aries, that's gonna be bad news.
Oh. Libre yata yung A.
Yeah, libre yung A. I think I'd rather just risk A. Kung yung exit dito, you got mid control, you got CR control potentially.
Pero naman.
Kim
na
with the last
naman.
one. Sobrang lakas. Sobrang Kim. Oh, Lucifer. Nichols will go down. Kim will get 2. Can he kill? Kim with the run and gun. Does he get away? Yes, he does! Nakatakas pa dito si Kim. How has he done this? And Alice is down to 1. Kim, can he get this 1v1? Yes, he can! That's a 4K on the MP5! Kim, max QPL mode dito sa series natin, and XQ is blindsiding. They're beating Execration to the first.
MP5. Clutch. Ganun lang naman natin. Kim. Kuha lang paano kumakta yung Execration. But unfortunately, 7-4, napakalaking. Which is mahihirapan ang
Yeah, actually, we just play standard at this point. It's a map they can just turtle into the sites. They don't really have to fight mid every single time, but they're gonna try because they're 5 points ahead. But Minate with the sniper. But does more? But the shotgun doesn't have that much range, so he's going to take out either Dracifer now in mid. The MP5 can do, let that thing roar, and he does get it on the even. But the execution players are all over the place. Him somehow dodges Seiya, but Seiya gets him down. 3-7. Yeah, I would start first in the side spot. I'd rather just in case hey, minute na naman yung execution.
Napakahusay talaga na pwedeng gawin nila dito. And seeing the positive side rin para dito sa side ng Execration. Most likely kasi nakikita natin yung setup nila is hindi naglilin towards dun sa mismong pagiging aggressive ng kanilang squad. Knowing xSOLOQUEue, ganun lang sila kasi all throughout the first half. And ibang BL style ngayon na ipinapakita sa atin ng Execration. Passive to aggressive, and now moving forward, papunta dito sa mismong B, which is dati nagbabantay dito, Min 8, Luke and Kim. So napakahirap na formation na kailangan tignan ng Execration if they want to move forward dito sa kanilang plano sa B.
Yeah, very risky though, keeping exit open dito kay Aven. Maybe he could just slip through eventually, but if this risk works, And this is going to be good news. At least meron silang dalawang players sa mid to try and contain this mid push. But one flash could definitely clear them both out without too much cost. Para sa Exe. Smoke's going to go through. And this is what we expect. Here comes the flash. Down. Oh, mag-B-side sila. No way mag-B-side kayo at this point, right? This is that's a bit too overzealous para sa Execration if ever they do. So they just go towards Curvin, towards A, xSOLOQUEue, trying to play the risky game dito sa mapa natin, but then it's not working.
Go. Minute. Possible. Execration na hindi na lang sila nag-jump dun sa mismong B kasi mukhang alam din nila na some of the players ng xSOLOQUEue is nandun sa mismong B. So, knowing Execration with this round na nakikita natin so far, 2-0 run ng team. Nagpa-pop off na rin na tumatama yung shots niya up against dito kay Luke. And this might be a possible pa na pwedeng makuha at mas-snatch na Execration.
3 points is not that big when you're starting the game natin. And with Luke trying to go for the mid peak for yung spawn player, I don't really recommend it at this point of the game. Probably will be the last risk na XQ would be taken. Pero RTA Kim still steadfast dito sa B site. Ecos Minate on towards long. Problema nga lang, tower position has been taken by Execration. So if ever may lalabas dyan sa exit, Minate is really trying to take the push out. Galing dito. But they do have tower. Nasa kanila yung tower. Bad timing. Minate! Oh my God! God loves you, bro. Kasi you should have been dead. But 4 versus 4, they somehow get the numbers back. Pero ma-recognize yata ng Execration that this A defense is looking pretty heavy. Then pwede pa silang lumipat ng B dito.
4v4 Execration. Napakahirap left and right action mula min 8 tumalang mas malalim na fortunately yung bigong flash na madadamay para sa kanang squad. Sabi dito kay min 8 na stop agad yung aggression papunta dun sa A, but unfortunately etong si Ares and RTA sila yung first contact engagement na pwedeng makita. But unfortunately, ito si Seiya na plug plant na, pero titignan natin, walang pagtalon na slow. Pero nga, agad yung wallbang dito ni Ares. And there we go, 7-5. Slow and steady. Nakakahabol ang Execration.
Yeah, XU needs to slow down the pace, man. They don't have to do yung mga recent things na ginagawa nila ng BL side. They don't have to go for the big peak. And just go for yung mga sides. Necessary best in the I guess they want to keep it locked down. But if I was XQ here, man, I would start turtling. Kasi the more na we're trying to get control dito sa storage on both A and B side, you know, that could be too far forward para sa kanila dito. But yeah, they just need to play compound how it is, pare. Kasi if they don't, then X is just gonna come back dito sa game natin.
7-5, slow and steady, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Kung mas nag-invest ngayon yung slight adjustment para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue doon sa mismong A, but rather doon sa mismong B ngayon na defense, knowing some of the numbers, nag-establish na rin etong mga players natin para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. So kailangan nila i-check lahat ng mga corners, nandyan pa rin naman nagbabantay yung pwedeng magbigay sa kanila ng problema, which is Minate na kumonekta agad yung shot, and now -1 para sa side ng Execration. Kailangan muna nilang kumatok dahil doon sa depensa ng xSOLOQUEue rather, dahil posibleng maipit na naman sila knowing etong si Luke hindi agad nakapag-respond dito sa si Ares.
Look at the behind. too slow. Pero dito, just like that. Angle that we have. Para makita mo dito sa bintana na sobrang clean. I think Charleston found out about that angle. XQ 2 points away from sweeping Execration in a best of 5 series. And they close it out.
Kailangan mo pa rin talagang ma-clean itong round or set na to rather para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. If they want to sell this 3-0 sweep possible kontra dito sa side ng Execration, because of that, if ever na ma-turn around rin naman ng Execration to, and now may position din sa mismo play niya. Habang nagbabato ng slight yes, may slight damage din na nabigay sa kanya. Half HP ngayon, and xSOLOQUEue nagstay put na lang din, knowing that they have the advantage in terms of score. Okay, pero malilikuran na nga para dito sa side. xSOLOQUEue ang kumukontrol dito ng Equus RTA going forward. Dito papasok sa mismong B-side ng xSOLOQUEue. Mukhang isusugol na lang nila and check.
Yeah, that's like that's take. So XQ, they can have to win sa game natin. Execration still, I think they believe that they can win this one out very possibly. So XQ, they're gonna try to throw an aggressive move at Execration. Gusto nila kunin itong LB, CB possibly. Does get itong si Aries. Seiya doesn't get the immediate trade. Pero hindi makakaswing yung LB ng basta-basta dito. Meron pang dalawang players para sa XQ. This one going. And Tracifer will get itong si Min 8, but does he know about the other two players? Let's go for the jump peek. I think Kim saw the feet. Nakakataibigan na sila dito. Probably saw si Kim on that first swing. I think they should just back off. They should just back off dito sa B, pero Luke has a really good angle hold as well. Just survive. That peek isn't gonna work. Yun lang, si Seiya pa kayo nakapatay dito. Luke will get one in return. 3 versus 3. Pressure is on dito sa B site. And Lucas is gonna go back dito to storage.
Fire in the hole!
He's gonna try to convince them na still this B site is really hard to take. Yung ibang mga members ng XQ mapapalipat dito sa B site. I think that's the best idea that they can go for. Kasi A is really easy to retake compared to B. Pero mapapanade na lang sila sa mid. Probably no one heard the smoke popping. And gusto nila i-re-clear itong LB. But by the time na clear na nila yung LB, they go into CB. Actually, they're gonna have a really good timing habang nagpa-plant dito X, and they're still clearing every single angle. So kung mag-plant dito sa corner si Charleston, he's gonna get spotted from tower.
Fire in the hole!
Curve gonna be taken. Christopher's gonna be right there for the punish. Is he gonna stay in the corner? As he should. He's gonna go through. Pero Ekos waiting. Yung dalawang LA players ang nahulog na agad. And Luke na lang natitira. Execration. Getting the 7th round on the board. And the comeback is possible para sa kanila dito. XQ. And that's all I'm saying, man. You guys need to hold down yung mga sides. Hold down the extremities. You really don't have to do anything to best dito sa map na to.
Yeah.
As Execration is actively looking for anyone that would overextend para sa kanila.
Basta capitalize lahat ng mga errors na nakikita natin. So far, so good para sa side ng Execration. Knowing, yes, nakikita natin na masyado lang din lumalalim. Mga unnecessary hindi na pumuposisyon sa mga ganang lugar. And yun ng xSOLOQUEue, maging big reminder yun para sa kanilang team. If they want to close this one out, or gusto pa nilang bigyan na magandang opportunity itong side ng Execration, And knowing Execration, first minute ng ating laban, mas nakikita natin na stay put lang sila, naghihintay lang sila ng adjustment kung paano nagiging rotation dito ng mga players natin from xSOLOQUEue. And some of their players ngayon, with a 2-1-2 setup na lang dun sa depensa sa mismong A. But unfortunately, dito sa mismong curve, titignan natin.
Yeah, it is fine. Pero, yeah, they still have to get this curve position down. Immediately down, that should not happen. That should never happen para sa xSOLOQUEue and the 2 long players ng guys exit. I mean, maybe they can get the kill as they're investigating these. Exit! They still somehow get the kill. They could be better to say it. Charles, the reinforcements. This is XQ, man. I have no idea why they still are adamant in holding itong storage A, where the site is more important, in all honesty. Why did I think your exit, man? That's a choke point that Execration still has to go through. And you don't really have to commit to
ito ng side, pero nararamdaman na yung present. Going min 8 and King, unfortunately, nakuha agad yung access point papunta dito sa may A, pero slight malalim na yung hold ng xSOLOQUEue, RTA and Ecos. Posibleng makita itong si Sage. Pero nga lalabas sila dito sa Naku po. Mukhang magiging patibong ulit to para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue if they want to commit this one.
Jesus, Minate. You're scaring me, man. Oh, of an exchange, no way, Minate. He has an M4. And... He's gonna go down. And this is looking like the ng xSOLOQUEue. RTA will get si Charleston, but they're just gonna recover the C4. And once again, xSOLOQUEue. Yun lang, they tried to go forward dito sa round na to. It did not work out in their favor. Unless makakuha na magandang flank dito si Ecos, this is not happening whatsoever. Execration, they're just making xSOLOQUEue wait for it. Bago sila kumuha ng mga sites. And they're gonna take it as 3 members sticking together the entire time. Pero xSOLOQUEue could have the better idea, actually. CB and LB hold, wala pa namang nades masyado itong Execration as they spent it to start ng round. Pero oh no! Yun lang! Ecos with the timing! Ecos, oh no! He just stay dito sa LB but he's worried about itong CB but he can actually follow the rest of the squad papasok ng site pero bumalik si CB. He will get it. Mistake after mistake dito sa kanilang GR side has now led them to this.
Unfortunately, yes. Execration last round to secure this deal and try to negate the chance na makukuha dito ng 3-0 sweep ang side ng xSOLOQUEue and all ganun natin, all three half transition. Nakakuha nga sila ng 7-2 but unfortunately, isang round pa lang ang kanilang napanalo after nung ating naging rotation and no, si Minate mas naging accurate ngayon. Shot, but unfortunately, ito na naman Ecos. Hindi agad nakapag-adjust from the kill dito ni Dracifer and all throughout the game, may kita ulit natin etong squad ng Execration leaning towards dito sa area ni Kim.
Yep. So 1 for 1 so far. XU, they need a round to get it into OT. So far, so good. Frags. Once again, another compound performance para dito kay Seiya. But 1 minute on the clock can make or break yung mga holds natin dito sa mga site. And Nate, RTA, holding A finally sa site na lang mismo rather than playing etong exit. And it is gonna be a possible mid-take para sa Exe. But down to Seiya. Get his second, Can he get this third? Si Seiya na lang natitira. Must get his.
Double kill.
Minate, gets shot in the head, and Seiya just this, but Kim is with the dance of death, and he gets the 1v3. Execration.
Mention mo. And yes, maganda yung naging run nila for the first half, but unfortunately, hindi naging stable rin yung naging performance nila dun sa second half ng session. Yes, ang daming mga initiations from the rest of the squad ng xSOLOQUEue. But again, nakapitalize eh. Dito natin nasabi na yung veteran skills or yung veteran experience dito ng Execration is mas naging mature sila in a way na nakakapitalize, nalalaman agad nila if ever na nagkamali itong side ng xSOLOQUEue, let's go forward, commit na agad natin ito, huwag na tayong magdalawang isip pa, and all throughout this game, mas nabigyan lang din ng magandang win rate itong side ng Execration, having the second half transition from 7 to 2 down to a 10 to 8. Isang round lang ang nakuha dito ng xSOLOQUEue, and that was a bad defense from their side. And I think if ever nga na gusto nilang i-prove na maulit or hindi na maulit yung improvement, they need to be consistent patungo dito sa ating set number 4.
Yep. And it's just tough though. It's having such a good start dito sa series natin, and then we end up here on a 10-8 on an absolute comeback na ginawa ng Execration. They're just getting every single thing that they want dito sa mapa. And it's just tragic. Nangyari to dito sa Execration. It's all over the place, and there's not anything that they can do to get back into this game. So, yun nga, shout out to Mate at kay Luke doing their best para dito sa and yun nga, RTA Kim and si Ekos. Yun nga, they kind of just disappeared a bit dito sa mapa natin. Granted, Kim had that really good 4K with his MP5. They just started not seeing any opportunities dito sa second half natin, which is pretty bad para dito sa XQ. But then, you have Dracifer and you have Seiya popping the hell off dito sa compound, providing openings all over the place para sa kanilang team. And yeah, you have Seiya going in for 23, 24 frags para you're just gonna win every single time.
Napahusay talaga na player para dito sa ating team ng Execration. And let's talk about the set MVP or the match MVP para dito sa laban natin, which is Seiya, na napagandang insane stat para dito sa ng Execration. In order for them to secure this is nandun rin sa formula itong Seiya with a 2.60 KD and a KR of 144 na laging on point yung mga nagiging shots niya. And all throughout the second half, hindi nawalan ng pag-asa itong full squad ng Execration to move forward and to bounce back and to get the comeback dito sa set number 3.
Yep, but now we go into fourth para dito sa atin.
Para rin naman dito sa squad ng xSOLOQUEue, I think mas nagiging maganda rin yung kanilang combination with a double sniper, knowing eto si Min8 and Luke. Engagement kada round ng ating mga set, but unfortunately Execration with a trade-off dun sa tatlo.
Yeah, feeling ko na-expect na Execration na meron mangyayaring ganito sa start ng round. Uy, pero nagkalagpasan yung dalawang players. So wait, this B side could be a disaster. Luke!
Fire in the hole!
Dracifer trying to come in from the house B position, but instead in towards bottom B. Dracifer getting si Min8, and Luke is probably dead. So, first B
Fire in the hole!
Having the DR side on
Fire in the hole!
unfortunately, a 2-for-2 exchange, which is etong si Ekos and Dracifer ang nagkasa dito. Pagkaya ng kanilang mapa is pasukin agad, but unfortunately kailangan responde para dito sa kanilang squad. LA, dalawa yung hindi nagko-connect yung shots para dito sa ng XQ. with this round.
Yeah, 2-0 so far sa Phoenix side. Being absolutely blindsided. Again, not necessarily what's happening all across the map. But they are the side. So far, back a bit as per usual. Dito sa kanilang field side is letting Execration, have a solid base. Map na natin. But we haven't had any dito sa round natin. We've spoken them out.
Oh, dahan-dahan. Okay. Wala pang slight information para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. Knowing agad sila, but knowing ito yeah, pero andun pa rin naman.
Double kill! Double kill!
Wow, yes.
Also kill!
Naboom na kayo sa round na to. Itong si Minate.
That's the minute that you need. In this map na to, that type of guy to just from the A side. And he spotted in the corner, not so strongly to avoid the nades. XQ. And now they pulled out the double sniper para mas makover ni Luke itong area natin. Yata kailangan na umalis galing dito sa ilalim. And discover curve.
xSOLOQUEue. Medyo kulado yung dalawa nila. This is a good advantage para dito sa side ng Execration.
Smoking bomb!
Kailangan ngayon nilang makapag-adjust, knowing some of their members Pina and now look this is hirap ngayon from min 8 as well. Kaya agad yung tulong para dito sa side ng xSOLOQUEue and now Execration. A-side run. Nahihirapan ngayon from CA. Ito si Eagles. Ito si RTA. Napakahirap naman sa kailangan pang galingan all throughout the game. Execration yun. Kontrolado nila yung mismong mapa.
And it is not their A side. Mid-8 na lang yung pumasok dito sa CA instead with the sniper and hopefully yung dito sa top A. But and once again, Execration is playing their side of the map, no problem whatsoever. Problema nga lang, there is also a player all the way walked out. A 7 push, he's gonna start to move over.
Dahan-dahan. Kaso nga natalag siya ni Even. And now as well with a double swing. That is a good advantage para dito sa xSOLOQUEue. But unfortunately sa kasi napapansin natin, Execration leaning towards the A side at mukhang ipit yung kanilang rotation dahil dito sa placement na ginagawa dito ni JC as well. So the whole situation nag-workout lahat ng mga plano nila knowing eto si Nico 1 HP na lang para dito sa ating game.
So never get spotted. I mean, 1 headshot, maybe 2 dito kay Seiya would be the solution, pero si Seiya is playing that very grounded position instead of itong top A. If he does not spot na umakyat dito si Ecos can just actually straight up defuse. Pero si Seiya instead just in front of CA box. 4-1 para sa Execration. And they're getting very single time. Every and now 4 instead of xSOLOQUEue. xSOLOQUEue gonna be desperate this time para makahanap ng play. Just sa CA and yeah, they're just gonna 3-stack inside that. The problem is, mid is wide open.
game. Andun na naman, ito si ito si Minate, yes. Nakakuha sila ng isa, pero ang problema ngayon, dalawa na lang silang matitira. Last player remaining on the side ng XQ. And this might be a good factor para sa side ng knowing eto si Aris. Nandun sa mag-gets na, nakuha pa yung kill para sa RTA. Unfortunately, yung bomba dito, yung C4, napala na, pero yung swing coming from RTA, hindi nagagana. Dahil 1 HP and Execration still on the lead.
There we go. Very different mission from what we were seeing earlier dito sa compound. Now the Execration pushing on the gas and not letting go at any point. Impossible para sa XQ na makakuha ng lead dito sa first half since Execration already got 5. And Execration plays some really damn good defense sa mapa na to. Yun nga, Execration once again just standard. Dito sa laruan natin, just playing the extremities ng LB at itong nades are gonna come in though para kay Charleston who got belted by the two long players na nag-push kanina. But then, how is xSOLOQUEUE gonna react to that information?
Hirap ngayon yung gandong sitwasyon para sa kanilang team. With a 5-1 score right now, Execration. Magiging mahirap to para sa side ng xSOLOQUEUE dahil dalawa lang sila dedepensa. Full squad para sa side ng Execration ngayon. Leaning towards the A site at ngayon complete utilities, may flash, may smoke pang pwedeng gamitin to negate the process na pwede silang mapatay agad ng mga players. But that is a good information coming from Aris. Nakakakuha agad ng initiation in RTA. Napitas agad with a 1-for-1. Low HP para dito sa dalawang teams natin. Pero considering na ito si Charleston, Aris, naging sakto lang din yung timing. And Execration still dito pa rin natin na tulungan ng mga salamat.
Can't seem to get the timing now. Pushes ng Execration. This is looking more and more like an Execration map. Nate goes down. XQ getting a bit desperate for these openers. He's into it. So, John, nandito pa naman si Luke for the sniping, but since there are only 4 players left, they're gonna be a bit spread out sa mapa natin, and that's gonna allow Execration a bit of space to work with dito sa mid. This is tough. This is tough. May tao it's not gonna be of big benefit since nakuha nila yung Z. Oh, Kim, silent hopping at the wrong time. RTA. Are they gonna spot him? RTA will instead spot him, but will get traded out immediately. Every single Execration just does whatever they want in sa PL.
Kung gaano kalakas yung binigay nila as yung mismong compound and then dito sa court manuang execution yung ganito point yung kanikanila mga binabantayan na angles and no minute has the aggressive control dun sa mismong LA. Unfortunately, medyo nag-hesitate pa kasi hindi pa nila na-clear out. Ito para kay Seiya. Nakuha pa. Once again, Execration. Sila ang umabante. Medyo nagkaroon lang din ng konting downfall para sa side ng na pwedeng natamaan yung kanilang momentum dun sa kanilang pagkatalo from the set number 3. Kaya ganito yung naging scenario at this point sa set 4, pero andun bantayan yung tatlo going forward dito. Pero ang problema naman nila, kukonect na para dito sa Alex. Bulag na bulag at Lima. Pero 2-4-2 exchange team ngayon. Polado. Siyang mukha nila. But unfortunately, Aiden on point para dito sa side ng Execration ngayon. 3-1 with a good half para sa side ng Execration.
I think this would just be enough. Honestly, if from the BL side ngayon, RDA Saya will get itong si Kim, and Minate will get Saya in return to the site. Of course, Aiden not gonna miss the ninja opportunity. And and every player is fighting for the on 1 HP. He gets taken down. That is half point for Execration, unless it's not happening. Tignan mo naman siya. Down immediately. They're gonna make it a very, very fast forward.
Yep. Napakabilis na laban so far. This might be the fastest game para dito sa ating series. And then again, workout to pero andun pa naman. Kapag uwabang dito na napakadaming xSOLOQUEue again, last player
Welcome to CFS Esports, where the world's top crossfire teams come together to compete. Now, let's explore the newly introduced CFS Path for 2024. CFS Path is the journey towards the Grand Finals and consists of two main stages. First, the regional qualifiers, where lower-ranked teams from each regional league's point system compete. Second, the regional finals, where top teams from the regional qualifiers and the top-ranked teams from each regional league's point system fight for the slots in the grand finals. Finally, we have the highly anticipated grand finals themselves. The journey along the CFS path begins with the regional qualifiers. First, let's take a look at the point standings of the 2024 Regional Pro Leagues, CFVL, CFBL, and CFWL. Based on the point system, teams ranked 5th to 12th will compete in the regional qualifiers. These teams are divided into two groups and compete in a single round-robin format. The top two teams from each group will advance to the regional finals. In the next stage, the regional finals, the teams that will qualify for the grand finals are determined. The regional finals are also divided into two groups, each playing in a single round-robin format. The top two teams from each group will advance to the single elimination playoffs. In the Philippines,
Execration just got a 3v3. Very simple. Last game, Kim. Right around the corner, getting it in the base. Anything more? Kim? The rest of the squad to move. Minate will fail that flank. And there we go. Nagkakagulo na dito sa base round.
Shots!
ayun lang. Kim, low HP. Charleston and Aven ngayon. Oh, di nila chinek. Parang pwede. Ayun na lang. Ready ito si Aven and xSOLOQUEue. Combo kill na nakuha yun. Pero Execration still. Huge opportunity na pwede nga nila nakuha itong comeback or switch. Then they want sa side na xSOLOQUEue. xSOLOQUEue na naman. Wala itong si Minate.
Yeah, and they're expecting these forward positions getting to xSOLOQUEue. They took MR, but unfortunately, Charleston was able to angle the defenses and straight into yung MR window. That shot goes. And forced adjustments para sa XQ. DCRT event. Maybe he can do something. Actually get have the M4. Kim will get itong si Seiya and he gets away in time. That's what they needed. An equalizer dito sa laruan natin.
A good signal, a proper execution para makuha agad yung trade. Pero still, andun pa rin yung problema para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. considering that they need to have a run para dito sa ating laban. Kumbaga, kailangan nilang kahit paano maparamdam dito sa side ng Execration na bumabalik ulit yung aming pinaka-form. Ikus tries to swing doon sa play na yun. Unfortunately, umulit ulit. Pero hindi pa rin natamaan para dito kay Charleston.
Yep. I think he's just trying to draw out yung player na nandito sa jail. Through, pero Ekos RTA nakita na isa. Luke will get the other one. RTA does actually get the second one as well. Johnson at Tracifer na lang natitira, but they have control of that A site. As soon as they get the C4 down, pwede pa nilang ma-defend to. Pero medyo mahirap with only 2 players. They get at the same time. Johnson with the sniper can get itong si RTA. Waiting for them to get out on the player. Pero Charleston steps on it too much. And Tracifer will not get itong si Kim. And 1-1 xSOLOQUEue with an immediate answer.
Signal. Pero kailangan pa rin nila hindi maging compound. Hindi rin kasi gumagana sa kanila yung pag-overextend sa ating game, knowing some of the errors doon magsisimula at doon rin nakakapitalize yung advantage para sa Execration. So, I think stay put lang muna dito ang Execration. Hintayin nila na pumunta talaga sa kanila yung right timing para sa ng xSOLOQUEue and Execration, if they want to go forward, kailangan din nilang check dahil nagtatago lang din sa gilid-gilid etong xSOLOQUEue. Kim?
Oh my god. Tracifer and Seiya down, Aven getting the trade, pero makakapasok pa sila sa A site. Nandito pa naman si Luke for the quick rotation, pero Aries takes her down. 3 versus 3, low HP na yung mga players sa Execration, but they do have control. Akos spotting itong si Aries through the fences. Does get it with an M4, pero naka-shotgun na dito si Charleston reloading it. They probably heard that reload.
RTA.
So they don't want to go and just yet. Aven's gonna go down to the nade, and Nate with the flying deagle does get the there you go.
Napakaganda agad na kanilang pag-team, knowing ito si Kim, hindi rin nila naisip or naakala na naka-shotgun lang din dyan sa may and basta makapitalize din kasi talaga ng play na yung shotgun, but again napakahirap pa rin to execute that one, and I think Execration sila to check that corner kasi pwedeng hindi na maulit tayo. Look and Eco double set up win 8 as well, popping off ngayon. So pero Charles
yeah, Luke's just gonna walk on out. Tracifer na lang natitira. He does have the C4 in his hand. He's gonna check for more dito sa mid. But taking a look at yung positioning ng mga players natin, they're just making sure that outer is clear para sa kanila. Second mid is theirs. I think I like that more than just defending itong B site as it prevents the flank from happening. So, what is gonna be the situation here para kay Dre? I don't recommend him to go vents. Yeah, I think you just try to clear as much as possible. If you see that B is absolutely clear, that's good news. There we go. That could be the possible B plan pare. Pero uy. Tracifer na paikot. Tracifer might be dead kung ma-discover siya. Spotted. He's just gonna go back to B. Yep.
Oh, makipag-ikutan lang siya. This might be a good run para dito sa side ni Tracifer. Full on HP pa siya. Right target. Luke and Min 8. Silang dalawa ulit ang matitira para sa squad ng XQ. Medyo na micro-manage pa rin para dito ni Tracifer. Pero seeing this one, the proper time or na nga, Min 8. at mukhang yun lang. This part considering ito si Drace against ang XQ.
That's a good clutch fight. Honestly, here comes the 55, gonna get RTA, work in his hands. Both of them wall immediately, but si teammate, makapanin na rin ng buhay. XQ stuck grasping at straws. Laban natin siya.
Double kill!
There's too much players to account for this situation. Yun lang. Yeah, after 1v3 into a fast round, fast execution. Just about them. And the Nate's gonna be the first one down. A bit too early.
Yun na nga, nakabawi pa rin ang Execration dun sa pagbagsak nila all throughout the last 2 rounds dito sa ating game. But unfortunately, para dito sa kanilang squad ng xSOLOQUEue, mababa na possible option to go forward. As si Luke pinagtulungan ngayon low. And now are with a swing. Nakasipan pa ng dalawa. That is a good signal para dito sa kanilang team. Pero looking at it, ito sa Lucifer, napakalaman niya. Pero kailangan pa rin ng slight adjustment para dito sa side ng Execration. Pick up na po nangyari, pero through the smoke, pa rin ang magandang round ng Execration. Itong XQ.
Yeah, standing in front of that. Yung position yun. And Execration getting a lot of rounds dito sa kanilang BL side. And this is what I was talking about. That Execration BL, hard to deal with dito sa map na to as they draw out as much attention as possible on most sides of the map. So, yun, it's gonna be the defense here para sa XQ. Just a good old passive B-side hold. May isang tao sa CR, may isang tao dito sa luwag. So, everything standard at this very moment. But, you know, Execration, executes have been working for them for the past few times. So, wouldn't be surprised if they just run into one of these sites habang nagpa-flash at smoke. So, SU has to be ready.
Mm-hmm. 1 minute. No pressure yet para dito sa side ng Execration and xSOLOQUEue. Walang slight changes dun sa kanilang pwedeng gawin. Nagbabantay dito. Kailangan maging attentive so far para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue. If ever yung man niya na pwede nilang kontrolin etong CR papunta dun sa mismong A, pero bumalik lang din ito si Kim kung saan siya mas naging effective sa pagdidepensa dito sa A. Pero ito na nga, CR most probably pwede itong maging access point para sa side ng xSOLOQUEue, pero hindi talaga mag-provide pick off para dito sa side ng Execration. Dito sa side ng XQ. 43, di ka nalaman so far para dito sa ating first half.
Yeah, man. Not gonna lie. CR hasn't been cleared yet. Obviously, pag tingnan ko yung CR who tries to go for jail, the person in CR is gonna come out and jail teammate at Luke. With the enforcer mid trying to get that early kill dito kay Aries, who's trying to get that early second mid control. Pero really trying to get that one player dito sa CR. But then now they are reminded of the sniper dito ni Charleston. So, stay back lang muna yung XQ dito. Di mo na sila mag-overextend.
Mm-hmm. Kailangan mo na nilang iwasan kung gusto nilang iwasan yung mga ganyang problem. And I think if they want to ang side ng xSOLOQUEue na bumantay ng ganun kaganda katulad ng ating last round, and seeing that defense para sa side ng XQ, ayun yung gusto mo talagang makita sa kanila na walang masyadong nag-overcommit or nag-overextend dun sa mga areas na kailangan nilang and seeing the side of pin 8, yes, ginawa niya nga yung kanyang objective, but unfortunately in terms of the gunfight, mas lumamang lang din itong si Dracifer. So still a good job para dito sa side ng XQ, pero Execration a better job na kailangan itong MR and lalo-lalo na itong CR.
woods. He gets it. Third. 5 and 3. Excellent. Getting the definite lead for the second half. As most you can do is get this last round and side. And an execution, just like how we said it. I think leaving sub base for map number 5 has definitely given them ugly experience sa map na to. Going up against MJB, they probably learned a thing or two on how to deal with the guy ng xSOLOQUEue. So, ayun nga, this is just another day in the office para sa kanila dito.
Yep. Another day, another objective to go forward para dito sa side ng Execration. Pero xSOLOQUEue, kahit papano, if ever they want to lessen the problem papunta sa second half natin, kailangan nilang may panalo itong last round. Potential. Pero if Execration makuha nila tong round na to, mas magkakaroon sila ng mas advantage na pace papunta dun sa second half. But the rotation here, mukhang hindi muna gagalaw pabahagya itong side ng xSOLOQUEue kasi tatlo mahigit dun sa mismong CR or jail. So most probably nandun yung slight information na pwede nilang ibigay, pero yung smoke ngayon dapat nila doon na naman yung swing para dito sa
Mask inside. RTA is gonna get discovered as well, and too many low players yet so little damage and are gonna go down. That kill, pero even yung makakuha. So 6 and 3. Execration.
Yep. Nararamdaman ngayon natin gusto nilang makatulong sa final spot, but still hindi pa rin tapos ang ating storya dahil xSOLOQUEue still on this sumubok at makuha ulit yung kanilang panalo to redeem dun sa kanilang pagkapanalo from set number 1 and set 2, but that is a good trade-off. Kim and Seiya so far ang nawala dito sa ating round, pero last 2 minutes napakadami pang oras para gumawa ng plano. Either they want to perform dito sa mismong B or pumawi dun sa mismong woods. Pero ang problema ngayon nila is may isang nagbabantay sa vents at butas na butas para yung CR ngayon ay pwedeng mapuntahan dito ni RTA. But definitely the timing para sa side ng Execration, kailangan nilang mapredicto.
Yeah, 4 versus 4. For Aben with a good hold. I think 2 players, but Nate was naman. Magpapakita ang gilas, pero Aries and RTA. RTA is dito sa chain, and Aries just gets the headshot. It's 7-3 Execration, just like how we said it. Something switched. Number 3. Seems like Execration is now fully on para sa series natin.
Both of the teams, nakikita ulit natin na mas sumusubok itong kabilang squad ng xSOLOQUEue, but unfortunately hindi talaga makakita yung mga katanong. Now Aris, at agad itong si Kim. Ang na yun ni Kim, but unfortunately parang yung side ng Execration. Babalik ulit ito si Kim, pero mas na blackout lang din yung kanyang slight vision dahil sa smoke na yun. And
Fire in the hole!
or patay na nga tuwaan okay, para dito sa side ng Execration, mawawala na, and adding to that, ito si Dracy first sa ang winning condition, and now Seiya and Charles ito kay Ikus and as well, makakuha ng one tap mid-air. Si Luke, hindi niya pa rin nakikita, so no information yet para dun sa isang pa rin na makakuha for Execration. Still on the lead, pero a good play para sa kanila.
Good play para dito sa XQ. Charlie now getting at the Lucifer trying to get spotted out from the window, pero pati si Kim na and hindi na nila papalagpasin ang kanilang advantage dito sa round 6. Out in the open, Aries getting singing 8-4 Execration inch ever so closer in getting the reverse sweep. Ako po.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Hirapan talaga sa mga ganda scenario.
Fire in the hole!
And at this point, we want to move forward para sa taas talaga.
Double kill!
Bigla style. Double tap dun sa deagle niya.
Okay, gets the most chaotic ulti habang pulls out the deagle at the last moment, somehow hits itong si Dracifer twice in the head. And yun nga, buying themselves a bit of time dito sa sub-base. Getting MR control, good news para sa kanila dito, but can they actually execute passage? Has to be at the perfect timing para dito kay Egos. There's only 2 players that they have to worry about. Yung isang player nasa loob ng woods. Now starting to discover that woods is more clear than usual. So ipupush na nga ng Execration ang likod ng xSOLOQUEue. They need to push now or else face the wrath ng buong ng dalawang exit players dito. And here comes the nades. They need to put all the attention ng mga players natin sa site in LR. Titignan natin if this get one. And Kim, okay, does get one. Let's see if it needs Charleston. Charleston still getting the hit. RTA. It's the bets. Still getting Egos. Kim getting Charleston. It's a 1-2 loop with another clutch situation. Magagawa. Execration. 1 win away from getting this reverse sweep, the first reverse sweep in the history ng Impact. Granted, there's not much history because they only had 2 seasons, pero Charleston only get itong si Ekos, pero may Nate gets in return. So, it's not too bad para sa XQ, but how RTA can some events.
Ayun lang, napakadelikado to para kay Aris. With the double up para dito sa dalawang players natin from xSOLOQUEue. Pero may nakalusot na Charleston. And now there we have it, min 8. Mukhang i-contest niya pa. Itong si Charleston, 1v1 sa dalawang snipers natin. Sino nga ba magandang player? Now Aris even. Nandun sa mismong J. Ngayon, considering itong si Luke trying to doon sa kanilang battle. And now Aris low HP ngayon. Grabe na to. Pinagtulungan na go Execration. Let's take a look ulit yung highlights for this last game series, which is napakaganda from the start. Nakakahabol pa itong side ng xSOLOQUEue. But again, mas naramdaman natin na mas komportable dito sa mapa ang side ng Execration, considering that they have the advantage. Ang ganda ng mga trade-offs nila. Ang ganda rin nung nakita natin clutch from the side of Dracifer with a 1v3 scenario, which is eto yun na nakuha niya. That is the biggest play na nakita natin for this series para sa ating mga teams, considering this is a crucial 1-on-1 na kailangan nilang may panalo. And again, a reverse sweep naramdaman dito from xSOLOQUEue.
Yeah, honestly, still a good run para sa XQ. Granted, it wasn't as good as their actual Impact run pagdating sa group stage. I think taking Execration in that fight despite what happened in the series. And yeah, we're gonna see plenty of them, pare. And next Impact around summer, so plenty of time para mag-practice as a team. But of course, you know, Masters qualifier is gonna be up first, and then if Execration have to get there, then meron pa naman yung Masters time regain, you know, what they lost in this tournament na to. Pero, yeah, so far, dito sa highlights, plenty of back and forth dito sa game natin, but then, Execration stops.
Napaka-ganda rin talaga konti after storyline para dito is most probably either itong si Charleston, Dracifer, kung pwede natin makita.
Probably Dracifer. I feel like siya yung pinaka-consistent all throughout 5 games, so wouldn't be surprised if he does get the MVP count, especially with the way that he played today. Even sa mga losing games ng Execration, he was the one leading the charge dito sa ating Execration squad. So, yep, we're gonna take a look at the match MVP, and of course, it is... Oh, I think that's Dracifer. I recognize those numbers. But it is Dracifer, guys. Ayun na nga. He does get... There we go. He does get the MVP. As expected, though, tingnan mo naman, from set 1 hanggang set 5, he did not dip down in 0.99 KP.
Napakahusay na player. At ayan yung kailangan natin i-look forward para bukas. At syempre, up against the side of Kirby Gaming na kailangan nilang mas maging prepared para bukas dun sa laban nila. And another best of 5 ulit na ating kailangan abangan. From the Battle for Third, ang unang yung mapapanood. And next one, the Grand Final. So, another exciting match and the last day, finally, ng ating magiging CFS impact run dito sa fall. At syempre, magkikita pa rin naman next year para sa mga teams natin. But again, konting throwback lang tayo dun sa ating mga nangyari from set 1 to set 5. Unang-una, nakuha nga ito ng xSOLOQUEUE for the set 1 and set 2 with a 10 to 6, 10 to 4. Pero simula ng set number 3, yung comeback hanggang set number 5, nanakaw na ng Execration with 10-8, 10-1, and 10-5, and matching this result with a 2 or 3-2, which is a reverse sweep para sa kanilang grupo.
Yeah, nag-iba talaga yung direction ng hangin dito when that set 3 tragedy happened sa xSOLOQUEUE, and I feel like they just got tilted and more tilted as the series did go through. So, ayun nga, it's still empty para sa kanila as we take a look at the rest of the match results as of today. HD winning against itong matches P3-1, and Execration reverse sweeping itong XQ with a 3-2. So it's HD versus X sa final, and MJB versus XQ for the 3rd and 4th placers.
At syempre yan, titignan natin ngayon yung updated bracket para mas makita nyo yung overview ng ating naging run for this day number 1 of playoffs. Yan, Battle for Third, matches B and xSOLOQUEUE in a best of 5 scenario at grand finals natin para bukas Kirby Gaming and Execration, another best of 5.
Yep, paying for the bigger prizes dito sa ating tournament. First is 700, second is 500. So, that $200 difference is still pretty big, especially in the context ng mga peso. And yeah, I would say still it's more about the pride ng mga teams dito, just being the best impact team for this year's tournaments. And I would still say, you know, I'd be happy kung ako dito yung Execration. But you can't get too complacent just yet kasi itong Kirby Gaming obviously is also a really good team. Plenty of experience against them when it comes to yung mga pubs and mga pet games as well. So, you're gonna have to wait and see. Execration, you're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, especially pagdating dun sa compound. Kasi, yeah, when you go up against the compound team, when you play compound like that, then hindi na yan papalagpasin ng Kirby Gaming, that is for sure. So, lots of things to think about para sa Execration.
Yep. Kailangan mo nang magkaroon ng slight practice para dito sa mga teams natin para maging mas ready and prepared sila para bukas. And for tomorrow, ulitin lang ulit namin para may reminders kayo dahil 2 PM yung ating magiging start ng official game ng matches P and xSOLOQUEUE. And up next na yon, Grand Finals, which is Kirby Gaming and Execration na na-mention nga natin kanina. The first and second spot ang maglalaban for the Grand Finals, and the 3rd and 4th ang maglalaban naman sa Battle for Third. So, probably mas magiging intense para dito sa dalawang teams or 4 na mga teams